Hello, everyone. It's Ingrid from thinkingthis.com. Today, we will be planning out week 27 in the Sterling Ink Common Planner vertical right here. Full year. This was last week's setup. And now we're going to do the same thing this week. As always, I like to start with dinner. So yeah, we're time blocking dinner here. Even though it's supposed to happen at the same time every day, I have accepted that I need to see it written there every day in order for it to be more likely that I actually do it at that time. And so that's why we bother, even though we know, hey, it happens every single time. It's at the same time, even though we know this. This makes the brain more likely to cue you to do it if you have difficulties with executive functioning. Okay. I don't know if I need to keep saying this because I guess this is just how it is. But we are behind. I thought I was going to be finished with 2 things, and I am not finished with either of them. Mainly because the one thing that I thought was going to be fast ended up taking a long time, and so I didn't work on the other thing that I thought I was going to be finished with. And so I don't know, we're behind, and that may be the theme. That may be the theme of the planning, is we're always behind. No. What am I affirming there? No, we are not always behind. A wizard is never late. She arrives precisely whenever she means to. That's where we're going with that. Okay. So I do know for a fact that I have to bake bread next week. Two batches. Okay, so we have time blocked dinner for now. Need some water. Okay. Continuing. After time blocking dinner, I like to, there's a shadow on my screen. That's because the light changed. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it because I don't want more dead air. I might have forgotten to mention, because I get sidetracked. After the affirmations, I'm going to show you my homeschool register for this new school year, the 2025-2026 school year. But yeah, because I have a lot to work on, I am not going to stick around and linger very long. Hey, shout out to Universal Article, who makes my music. Oops, I forgot to even do this. Bedtime is every night. Okay, so we're going to do monthly review on Tuesday. PM reflection. Okay, so that's it. We have time blocked the bedtime routine. Next up is what? Well, let's get the time-bound stuff in. So we've got book club at 7:30. And we have the live right here on Sundays at 3:30 Eastern Standard Time, where we are planning each week and affirming what we need to affirm so that we can manifest our plans. Okay, live. All right. All right. We're going quick here because I'm not chit-chatting. um, okay, so that is the time-bound stuff. Okay, so there's something unique this week, week 27. You know, there's a holiday on Friday, and I have to like take some time and like prepare for the next school year, like make some lists. What books do we need to have on hand and all that other stuff. And if possible, print out whatever I possibly can in advance because that helps me be consistent. If I start printing, if I leave printing to the day of, there could be a chance that we don't have time to get to it because, oh, I didn't have time to print it out. So, we're not going to do it. Whereas if it was printed out already, boom, here it is. Let's get cracking on it. So that's what this week is going to be about. So how am I going to lay this out knowing that I still have those other two projects that are following me into this week. So I'm going to have to adjust some plans because I still have to devote time to those other things. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to switch it up today. I'm going to lay out the morning routine because that should be maintained regardless of what happens later on in the day. So that's what we're going to do first, is time block the morning routine. Just going to turn the book here because it's easier to write. Okay, let's just check the ideal week to be sure that we have everything we need. Oops. All right, we are time blocking the Monday cleaning real quick. There we go. All right. continuing on. Now we're going to add our colored bullet. Uh-oh, something's happening. What's happening? I think I accidentally pressed something. I hope I didn't mess up everything. Okay. So, yeah, my bullet is basically the color-coded dot marker for whatever it is. And so what happens is if it's the same thing each day, then I don't write it over each day. I just put the dot on the same line where I wrote it just once. Should move this down a little since we're talking about what's up here. Oops, oops, shake everything. A lot of wires still. All right. Next up is AM reflection. Let's see. Direct morning routine. Okay, next up. We're back to this thing over here. I know that I should make ice cream at some point, week 27. So we're going to add that. We're going to make that for Thursday to make the ice cream custard. And then Friday, it'll be make ice cream. Okay, next. We're figuring out what's happening up here. All right, there are the weekly cleaning tasks, so we'll add those in. Right. Oops. Okay, and then we also have And then load vitamins. All right. So those are the weekly. Oh, laundry. Hello. Laundry. What time do I have that for? I have that for 11. Laundry. Okay, we're going to mark off time blocking laundry. Okay, next up is again figuring out what's happening. All right, so no, I do know that Tuesday I want to be reading and taking notes for book club. So we're going to write that for Tuesday evening. Read notes. Okay. Okay. All right, next for this 30th, this should be getting that paperwork together. So we're going to call it bookkeeping, even though technically I'm not keeping books, but it's financial related. So that's what we're going to have Monday night be. And we're going to say that Thursday the 3rd should also be that. I mean, I don't want it to be that, but this time I'm not going to be overly optimistic because there's a lot of digging through things to find the answers that I need. Okay, so Friday night, I'm going to leave that blank. Yeah. That might be a hang out with the kids thing, so I'm going to leave Friday night blank. Saturday night, homeschool prep. Hopefully I will be done with that bookkeeping paperwork. That addresses that paperwork. And then all right, I haven't done my yearly cartomancy, and we're already like 3 months into when I was supposed to have done one. So I'm just going to write this down here for after the live next week. Hopefully I can do that. Okay, so next we're filling in Monday through Thursday. Now, even though there's not going to be a lot of instruction, I am going to make them read to me. So just needs to decide what time that should be. I'm going to have that be 10:30. And then again, I don't like that this is broken up like this. I would have preferred to get it all done in one chunk, but that's not the schedule we have going on. So I'm gonna have to do like this kid here and that kid there. And the switching between tasks sometimes a lot of time gets lost in the switching. So I have to be very aware of the fact that this is a lot of time in between. So don't get stuck in waiting mode and not work on the transcript. Oops. Okay, so this is all, wait, till 1:30. This is all homeschool transcript time. And Friday, I am also, I'm going to hit it hard on Friday and pray to God that that is enough time. I really hope so. Okay. All right. Hopefully that will put those other two projects to bed, and I have some time to prepare for the following school year. But yeah, that's that. So that's what's left, is to do the to-do lists, and then we'll get into our affirmations. So the color for July is mint. And I forgot that last night when I was painting my nails. I still thought we were doing silver, but the color is mint. So don't let the nail color deceive you. I'm gonna do that little highlight. There we go. All right, so we've got groceries. And the next flag is the homeschooling flag. Functionally, this didn't really do anything last week. I didn't really look at these lists. Because I knew what was on the... I was prioritizing one thing and I was ignoring whatever I may have written. Well, I didn't even get to that part. That's what it is. It was related to the project, but I didn't get to that part in the project, so I still haven't done what I wrote down there. Okay, bookkeeping flag. Right. By the way, if you're new to the channel, I'm Ingrid from thinkingthis.com. I'm a writer, tarot reader, Akashic record guide, and spiritual empowerment professional. And I have discovered that decorative planning keeps me productive and motivated as I parent, homeschool, and create content and maintain my spiritual practice. This book is meant to help me with all those areas of my life. On Sundays, I go live, I time block, and I decorate each week. And I also say some affirmations to assist me in creating the conditions that allow me to achieve these goals that I'm setting each week. Okay, and we are doing our next action to-dos. That's what's going on over here. So there are some projects. And these lists here are giving me the next action. So what is the next thing I'm supposed to be doing, basically? All right, groceries. We'll use the same marker to write homeschooling. Well, can we do this so the people can see? Let's see. Maybe. Yes. Okay. Homeschooling. Bookkeeping. Thinking this. There we go. Excellent. So all we need to do is add some washi tape and we are done with planning out week 27. And then we'll say our affirmations. I'm going to go with these cherries here. There we go. Some cherries. And what next? Oh, I'm going to have to use this mild liner because I forgot to grab mint brush markers. There we are. Oh, and I forgot to do the to-do list. Let's get that in. This is just a general to-do list, whatever comes up. Things that have not been scheduled, but that should be done during the week. A lot of times this is full of tasks that I migrated from the previous weeks. Okay, and to do. We're going to go with this again. And what I'm going to do is, again, just darken those downstrokes. All right, to do. There you have it, week 27. So, where is my... Here it is. Right, let's get into the affirmations. Okay. I create the conditions for my happiness all of the time. My will is strong, and I use it to create my most benevolent desires. I wake up every day on purpose to create my life. I accept and claim my unique beauty and wild soul. I am delicious power. And we're going to come up with some new ones because I had some physical stuff come up for me. Even though it's gone now, I feel like there may have been some energetic influence upon those symptoms that I had. So we're going to bust out The Secret Language of Your Body by Segal and see what the body has to say. And perhaps there's an affirmation that can be added to this list. So she's got body parts. All right, we're gonna first go with neck because I had some neck pain yesterday. No, I had some neck pain Friday and yesterday. So let's go to the neck. Okay, so possible contributing factors to neck pain. And what I'm doing with this pendulum here is I'm pendulum testing. There's a big long list of things, and so I'm pendulum testing to see which one applies to me specifically, because not all of them may. Maybe all of them do, and maybe I should test that first. Do all of these possible contributing factors contribute to my specific neck symptoms? And I'm getting a yes. All of it. All of it. Do I feel like calling myself out by reading this entire paragraph? Let's do it. Let's do it for the collective. Okay, so relationship problems, inability to communicate feelings, difficulty making commitments, feeling stuck, inflexible, pressured, like something or someone is strangling you. Propensity to sweep issues under the carpet so you don't have to deal with them. Holding on to unresolved issues in relationships, especially with parents, children, or past partners. Often seeing yourself in a negative image. Spending too much time thinking and trying to work things out, and not enough time being aware of your feelings by tuning into your intuition. So, okay, called out there. And the sun has shifted and created a bigger shadow on the images. I'm so sorry about that. Okay, so what is she saying? Obviously, is there someone you need to talk to? And beyond that, focus on your breathing. Allow your shoulder to drop and your neck to relax. Focus on allowing the muscles to loosen. Tune into your neck by placing your hands gently on it. Breathe into that area and ask yourself questions such as, if there were a thought stored in my neck, what would it be? Frustration is the word that I got. If there were an emotion stored in my neck, what would it be? An emotion stored in the neck. Anger. If there were a picture or a memory stored in my neck, what would it be? Well, I would say the incident that precipitated the whole thing. What do I need to change to feel better? And I'm getting stop excusing myself. So I get defensive and then I start supplying reasons for why I don't deserve certain treatment. And the fact is that I don't deserve certain treatment regardless. So I don't need to supply reasons or excuses for why I don't deserve it. So, oh my God. Ooh, I felt that. I felt that loosen me right away. Well, she says, wait for a response and acknowledge it or write it down. I have shared it with all of you. So I'm going to repeat the word clear as she directs us to. Clear. Clear. Divine healing intelligence, please delete and dissolve all the ways I am inflexible, stressed, fearful, and uptight. Please draw out all pain from my neck, all beliefs that someone or something is causing me pain, as well as all points of view, all patterns, and the positive and negative charges that contribute to this condition. And I'm being shown a color, so I want to pendulum test that just to be sure that this is the color that I should be recommending in this visualization. Should it be a mint color? Yes, so I am imagining healing rays of green light, especially the mint. This light is circling your back, releasing density, relaxing muscles, and healing pain. And so the affirmation that I'm being called to say is, I resolve issues from my past and move forward with clarity into the future. So I'm going to change it to, I have resolved issues from my past and move forward with clarity into the future. And that's a good one for close to the end of the month. So, and also it's a good one for the new moon in Cancer that we just had last Wednesday. So if you're curious, I did do a reading for the collective on that in last week's live. You can just click on that video and you'll see the chapters there and skip right to the reading for the collective if you want to check that out. Okay, so the affirmation. I have resolved the issues from my past and move forward with clarity into the future. Excellent. So we have said all those affirmations. Today is the 29th. And so that means today's color is green. So we're going to go right into highlighting the green for affirmations. And that one right there. Okay. We have about 5 more minutes before I want to jump right into the Homeschool Register. I talk about it and I never show it because I feel like it's personal to my children to show, like, you know, what I'm keeping track of and stuff like that. But since it hasn't been filled in, I want to show today what we are working with, you know, when I say it the rest of the year. So let's get back into this, because an interesting thing that happened to me today was for like about 3 to 5 minutes, my jaw was locked open. And so we're going to go to jaw and see if anything shows up there. J. K. H-I-J-K. They just have joints. Should I go to joint? Well, let's go into this index here. Look up jaw. Oh, yes. Okay, 58 to 60. Oh, jaw. Okay. Possible contributing factors. Do all of these possible contributing factors for jaw apply to me? Okay, I'm getting a yes. So I'm going to read them all again. Holding tension, stress, suppression, difficulty communicating how you feel, which makes sense because I had to really tune in to feel the anger in the neck. Judgment, criticism, fear, inability to stand up for yourself and ask for what you want, guilt, blame, fault finding, feeling locked in, holding on to anger and resentment, stuck in a pattern without knowing how to break free and move forward. So it says, rub your hands together. Visualize 2 balls of orange light in your hands. Place your palms on your jaw. Gently move your hands in a circular motion on either side of your jaw, while breathing deeply and slowly. Focus on allowing the orange light to melt the tension inside your jaw. Do this for 2 or 3 minutes. And it's interesting because I was called to orange on that part of my body when I was looking for lipstick. But I ran out of time because that orange lipstick was downstairs. And I was like, just put on what you have. So we're calling the orange in regardless. Oh, okay. Divine healing intelligence. Please help me to release all stress, tension, suppression, judgment, criticism, limitation, and fear from my jaw, as well as all points of view, all patterns, and the positive and negative charges that contribute to this condition. Clear. Clear. Focus on completely relaxing your fingers, toes, neck, head, and jaw. Allow your body to soften and let go. Place the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth. Breathe slowly and deeply. Focus on something positive as you allow yourself to smile internally. Then smile with your mouth, knowing that divine intelligence is on your side, assisting you to move through all your challenges. Okay, and the affirmation is, I communicate with people in a way that they can hear and understand what I am saying. I communicate. Move this over a little. With people in a way that they can hear and understand what I am saying? I have the confidence to ask for what I want and to be creative and spontaneous in my life. I'm slightly changing it than what's written here. So just FYI, it's not exactly what she's saying. So I'm not, don't believe that what I have just said is what she wrote there. It's close to it, but I'm changing it slightly to make it more present tense and more it's a reality versus what I want it to be. Okay, so I have the confidence to ask for what I want. More creative and spontaneous. Ooh, and see, I was going to change it. And I wrote down exactly what she said. So I guess I need to say it exactly how she said it. Okay, I have the confidence to ask for what I want and to become more creative and spontaneous in my life. Okay, that was a long one, but needs to be said. Okay, and finally she has you do bend your middle finger. Bend my middle finger and press my thumb. Oh, go like that. Taking slow, deep breaths while the jaw is relaxed. Divine healing intelligence, please heal, relax, and regenerate my jaw and all related organs to their maximum health, vitality, and well-being. She also has, this is what's great about this book, is that even if it didn't come to you while doing the exercises, she still has like places that she suggests you go check out. So you don't have to stop there at, I don't know, you know, go through the unhealthy emotions to work with. There's stress, anger, guilt, fear, stuckness, judgment. And then there's healthy emotions to work with, relaxation, peace, forgiveness, love. So like the work doesn't stop there. It can keep going. That's, you know, it's why I love pulling this book out. It's a great one. Okay, and now all that done, affirmations done, I want to show you what the Homeschool Register looks like. Here it is. This is a Hobonichi Avec A5. Wait, where's the, here it is. Cousin Avec, there you go. Hobonichi Cousin Avec. I changed the color. I like the blue cover that the July through December has, but I don't like the yellow cover. And so because I know I'm going to change the yellow cover, I always change the blue cover too, and I try to make it matching for the school year. So this is July through December of this year, but it's only half of the academic year, so to speak. The next half of the book is going to have January through June, and that comes in yellow. Don't really like it, so I'm going to be using this same scrapbook paper, and then both books for the school year will be the same color. Also, what I have here is my kids are color coded so that I can see at a glance who or what I'm referring to with whatever information I'm putting down. And so in this book, since my eldest, not my eldest, because my eldest has been graduated from school for like 10 years already. I mean, no, not 10 years, but for like 8 years or something. But my second son is graduated, and so he's not going to be included in this book anymore. So now I only have my daughter and my third son. And so each child is color coded, and I'll put a circular sticker on the binding, and I tape it there because these little things like to come off. And so that's what I've done here. And then I'll know, who is included in that specific book. All right, so we're going to open up, and in here, this is like weekly preparation checklists. And this is something new that I'm going to try, because usually the preparation is the same each week, and again, we don't want to be writing it down all the time. So this was a printout somebody did. I may change this, I may not. So I just printed it out in booklet size and cut it down so that it fits inside the cover. And here we have basically the school calendar. Whatever is a planned day off is highlighted in this mint color. So in a sense, the mint color is kind of like relaxation or time off. Like, and coincidence that that's the color for July. But that's the color, that's been historically the color since I started color coding time off. I covered up the 2024 notebook, 2024 calendar. I don't ever use it. And so I just put like some type of monthly log thing there. I don't know that I'm going to use that either, but we'll see. And then here in this, what is it, future log thingy? This is back planned. This is where I mark down actual school days. So, like I said, each kid is color coded. If I did school with the kid that day, there's going to be a dot in that kid's color that day. And then I can see at a glance how many school days that particular child has had. I've already filled in the planned days off, again, using that mint color. And usually I don't use this page, so I'm going to think about what it's going to be for. I'm not quite sure yet. And then here is an attendance calendar where I can just write down how many school days have happened. And so, like, it'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 type thing. And all the way until the end of the school year. So they'll have, an actual number as each day goes. Instead of adding up what happened each month, I will know, just by looking at the calendar here. And then these are the monthly calendars. This is also back planned. I just come back here and I write down certain events that happened. Like if a book was finished, I'll write it down here. If, yeah, pretty much when a book is completed or when there's a shift that occurs that I want to document, that's what ends up coming onto these monthly pages. Weeklies, again, is also backfilled. Whatever got done each day. I come in here and it's subject related. So each section here will be divided into a certain subject. Each subject has a certain color, and then I'll write down, you know, where that kid is in that specific subject. And that way I can come into the weeklies. What was the last page we did of such and such? And I won't have to flip through the daily pages. And so that's that. This right here is a reading log. And so again, each child has their own color, and I just write down what they read. Like I said earlier today, this week is off for preparation, and I might come back here and add other checklists or other procedures, like certain procedures for whatever subject. Like I should add the spelling procedures to this book. They're in the other book, but we're still using those procedures, so I should add them to this book as well. And that's all we have for now. Things get added as needed. One thing that I forgot to mention is that there's also an index that happens on these pages. So like if I have a meeting or if I took specific notes on something, I write it over here based on what day on the page you'll be able to find it. Well, I mean, based on what daily page you'll be able to find it. Usually I'm using the Saturdays and Sundays for that. But obviously on these days where, you know, we know there's time off, I'll grab those pages for that as well. And that's pretty much it. That's what we've got for the Homeschool Register. When I mention that in future Plan With Me's, this is the book I'm going to be talking about. This is what needs to be updated every day at 4:30. So that it is easier to fill out my required paperwork and write my progress reports and keep track of what's next in the curriculum so that I can prepare for it. This is the book. So that's it for today. I'm gonna end early. Usually I'm here till 5, but I have so much to do that, you know, like, why keep talking, and let's just get busy and get right to work. So have a wonderful week 27. Have a happy July 4th if you celebrate that, and only love prevails. Peace.